happy to take some questions.
Mr Dutton, there's a new push within Labor to change the party's housing policies. Are you willing to look at even modest changes to negative gearing or capital gains tax discounts?
No, and there is a huge divide now between the Prime Minister and the Treasurer and the backbench. The Treasurer is on the record repeatedly saying that if you don't have a change to capital gains tax, when he talks change he means an increase in capital gains tax. If you don't have a change to negative gearing, when he talks a change to negative gearing he's talking about an increase in the tax that applies to property investors, that the tax policy is not worth having. Anthony Albanese is coming out saying, well, he's not going to change anything, and the backbench is at odds with the Prime Minister as well. So at a time when Australians need the Prime Minister to step up, they're involved in this internal wrangle that's just going to kill investment. This is exactly what they do in the mining sector. We wouldn't be in surplus today without the revenues from coal, from gas, from minerals and resources otherwise in our country. And Labor wants to kill the golden goose. If you own a home now and you want the price to go down, well, listen to what Jim Chalmers is saying. He's got a solution for you. If you want your house price to go down, Jim Chalmers is working up the solution to it. It's to kill off negative gearing, which will undermine investment. People who are renting at the moment who can't afford to buy, I don't know what happens to them if property investors decide that it's an unsafe asset class. We saw not too long ago the government announce and reaffirm in the budget that they would tax unrealised capital gains in people's superannuation funds. So that is, before you sell the asset and you have the money from the sale, you're required to pay tax. I mean, it's absurd, but it shows what Labor brings to the table. None of them have been involved in small business or managing money, and when Labor runs out of money, they come after yours.
You say you're worried about Middle Australia. Why should taxpayers be subsidising people with multiple investment properties? Couldn't that money be better directed?
Well, the Prime Minister went to an election promising that there would be no changes. Now, if he's proposing to change it, as Mr Chalmers is suggesting and as backbenchers are demanding, then we should have some honesty from the Prime Minister. But at a time when families are hurting because of a cost of living crisis created by Labor, when families are hurting and small businesses are really under pressure because of the energy crisis created by Labor, you've got a Prime Minister and Treasurer now who are talking about ways that they can tax Australians more. So when we say that a Labor government will always tax and spend, this is again evidence of it. If you don't have investment properties, renters don't have accommodation to rent. Let's be very clear about it. And for mums and dads who save and as part of their retirement income, they put some money aside, they buy a rental property, they rent it out, and that's supplementing their income, particularly for people that don't have a big superannuation balance, that is a perfectly legitimate investment for them to make. And I don't understand why the Prime Minister is being deceptive about this, but clearly there's a big divide between he and the Treasurer at the moment.